welcome back to another What's Cooking Wednesday on BigJon TV. Today's recipe is a UK favorite. It's been requested many times. Our friend Ollie sent us the recipe. I'll link it down below, and it's got to be good because it came from the Cornish Pasty Association website. So I'm going to try and make a Cornish pasty. Although, of course, I can't call it a Cornish pasty because I'm not in Cornwall, so I'll just call it a pasty. We've got all the ingredients ready to go. Let's see how I do. Okay, let's get started with the pastry dough for our pasties. I've measured out all my ingredients with a kitchen scale. So this is 500 grams of flour, except for that bit I just spilled out. Yeah, I made a bit of a mess there. To that we'll add 1 teaspoon of salt, 125 grams of butter. I did dice this up and the butter's nice and cold. And 120 grams of lard. We're going to put the lid on and pulse this a couple times. It's slowly working its way down in there. There it goes. All right, it's starting to look a little bit sandy, a little bit starting to pull together. We're going to start drizzling in our water to pull this dough together. I'm using the dough option on my Ninja blender, and it slowly incorporates things in there. That was 175 milliliters of cold water. Looks like we're getting a nice sticky dough now. Alright, we've let this go a bit. This is a pretty sticky dough. I'm going to pull it out and put it on a sheet and mix it around a bit by hand. Because they did say you really want to work this dough to build up the gluten in it to make it nice and stretchy so it doesn't break when you fill it. Alright, I'm going to dust a little extra flour on top here, make up for the bits I spilled in the beginning. This recipe came to me from Ollie, our friend in the UK, and he took it directly from the Cornish Pasty Association's website. So, while I can't call these Cornish pasties because I'm not in Cornwall, I'm going to do my best to make them as close as possible. They did say really work this dough, make it a good stretchy dough. Gave it quite a bit of time in my food processor. And it's a very stretchy, sticky dough, but it's really not making my hands stick because it's got a good amount of fat in there, which should make for a really nice flaky pastry. Now, Ollie did tell me he usually cheats a bit and buys a pre-made crust or pastry dough. But I was worried I wouldn't find quite the right dough here. So I'm making it. So I found when I did the sausage rolls, not many people actually make their own. I'm wondering, are Cornish pasties kind of the same deal? Do people just typically buy these? Let me know. And if you make your own, what do you put inside? And do you make your own dough? Alright. I've been kneading this for a good bit of time. We're going to ball it up. And we're going to cover this in some saran or some cling wrap and let it sit in the fridge for 3 hours. 3 hours. Let's go. All right, let's get started putting together the filling for our pasties. We've got 150 grams of onions diced, 300 grams of potatoes. I used a Yukon Gold. This is a nice firm kind of waxy potato. They recommended that kind because it will not get so mushy inside the pasty. 150 grams of rutabaga. I had to look up what a rutabaga looked like so that I could find it in the store. I was actually surprised that our store carried them. They're similar to a turnip. In the UK they call them swede because they're a Swedish turnip. We'll see how they taste. I've never actually eaten one. 400 grams of beef. Roughly equal to 1 pound of beef. Flank steak was recommended. Couldn't find any at my store currently, so I opted for flat iron. It's a nice, well marbled piece of meat. It should cook up well and not be too tough. Now, Ollie told me he usually uses an OXO cube. We don't have that, so I'm going to use about a teaspoon of this Better Than Bouillon paste. It's a roasted beef base. I love the flavor in this. Toss that around a bit. Gonna add 1 teaspoon of salt and 2 teaspoons of black pepper. I'm gonna toss this around a bit, get everything mixed up, everything seasoned up, and then we'll roll out our pastry dough. All right. There's our dough. Spent a good 3-ish hours in the fridge. Let's get it rolled out. Now I'm supposed to be able to get 6 pasties out of this dough. That looks like a really good thickness. All right, our dough is rolled out. Let's start cutting out some circles. Suggested using a side plate, so here we go. Ooh, not quite. Pull up the extra to re-roll. So let's see if I can get 3 more out of this. This is getting really overworked. I think I'm only going to work with the 4 that I've got. So let's start building them. All right, we're going to start with one of our little pastry rounds. That spoon is way too small. I want to get a nice assortment of meat and veggies in here. Not be skimpy. Keep it away from the edges a bit. Whoops. Alright, we're gonna fold it over. Oh no, you guys stay in here. Push the edges down. Okay, and they like fold it and fold it. Theirs were beautiful online. Mine, not so much. Perhaps the next one will be prettier. Honestly, my best attempt yet, I feel. Not hideous. I've mixed together 1 egg and about a tablespoon of milk to glaze these. All right. For what it's worth, I think these look fantastic. They're going in the oven. 165 for my UK folks. That's about 330 for my US folks. Let's go. Ooh, check these guys out. Fresh out of the oven. They are piping hot. They smell delicious. I cannot wait to eat these. We're gonna let them cool for a few and then we'll be ready to eat. All right, it's hot in this kitchen. The pasties are all finished. They look fantastic. I've cut one open so it'll cool down a bit faster.
It smells delicious.
All right, take a bite.
Do it, man.
Dig in.
Gotta be hot though.
It is.
I opened that one a bit ago, so it's had a chance to cool down.
Oh, ow. It's still too hot.
Oh, yeah. Look at that.
Good chew to the meat.
Mm-hmm. Super tender.
Good.
Those are fantastic.
It is hot.
The pepperiness in there is really good.
Mm-hmm. Yep, those turned out great. As much as I filled that, I feel like I could have stuffed them fuller.
Yeah, that's great. That pepper bite on that beef is just killer.
Mm-hmm.
These are excellent, guys. That'd be a great meal if you're out there, you know, mining in a cave for hours.
Totally. So I could see these being good cold or hot.
Yep.
There was a vegetable we've never eaten before in there, rutabaga.
Rutabagas.
Who knew?
Yep.
I hope you guys enjoyed this video because I had fun making these.
They're good.
Did you have fun eating them?
I'm gonna kill the heck out of those soon.
All right, very good. All right, what do you say, man?
I'm not mad, it's just my face. Like, subscribe, and share to friends.
That's right. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Catch you on the next one. Bye.
See ya.